Let's go ahead and call the Senate back to order. The Sergeant at Arms will please secure the chamber doors. Senators, please take your seats. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their presence? If so, has everyone recorded their presence? We will waive the invocation and substitute it with the one we've previously heard today. The clerk will take the call. With 39 members in the chamber and a quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland is again in session. All right, let's go to third reading calendar 76. Clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 66, Delegate Charkoudian, property tax credits, public school employees, health and safety improvements, and property use for local housing programs.
All right, House Bill 66 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. With 32 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 66, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
House Bill 865, Delegate Martinez, Maryland Medical Assistance Program, health insurance coverage for prosthesis.
House Bill 865 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. 42 votes in the affirmative. House Bill 865, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 950, Delegate Edelson, Maryland Transit Administration, locally operated transit systems, mandatory funding.
All right, House Bill 950 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. 36 votes in the affirmative. House Bill 950, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. We've got a message from the House number 12. Clerk, read the message.
message from the House of Delegates number 12, Senate bills passed by yeas and nays. Senate
Majority
Bill
Leader moves
42.
so we consider the reading of the bills. We've got a concurrence calendar. This is concurrence calendar number 36. Clerk will read the first bill.
Senate Bill 975, Senator Elfreth, Maryland Department of Health Reproductive Health Care Clinic Grant Program.
Recognize the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 975 establishes the Reproductive Health Care Clinic Security Grant Program in the Maryland Department of Health. The House amendment prohibits disclosure of grantee information, and we move to concur.
All right, the chair moves to concur on the House amendments. Any discussion of the amendments? Any objection to the amendments? Without objection, the House amendments are adopted. Question now is on the report, on the bill. Third reading, final passage. Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. 33 votes in the affirmative. House Senate Bill 975 have received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 1188, Senator Ferguson, Maryland Protecting Opportunities in Regional Trade Port Act.
Recognizing the chair of the committee on the bill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 1188 requires the Maryland Department of Labor and the Department of Commerce to establish temporary relief programs to provide assistance to specified individuals and businesses affected by the reduced operations of the Port of Baltimore. The House amendments make technical, clarifying, and conforming changes, limit the application of the scholarship programs to incidents on or after January 1, 2022, limit the scholarship program based on the availability of funds, ensure that employers are not required to pay higher UI taxes based on layoffs related to the collapse of the bridge, authorize the disclosure of certain tax information to the Departments of Labor and Commerce and to administer the bill, authorizes the program to provide benefits in addition to UI benefits, authorizes the Department of Labor to provide certain support to labor unions in addition to trade associations, small businesses, or other companies, incorporate requirements related to the UI work share program into the bill, require federal funds to be used first, and establish additional requirements related to the transfer of funds from the rainy day fund, including specified reporting requirements. Move to concur.
All right, Chair moves to concur on the House amendments. Any discussion? Any objection to the House amendments? Without objection, the House amendments are adopted. Senate Bill 1188 is again before us on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? Recognize the Minority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Just want to mention a couple things that we had concerns about seem to have been addressed in the House amendments. One was to make sure that us as a legislative body had a little bit of say in the ability for the governor to spend money. And one of the things that was done was it was limited to increments not greater than $25 million. So in other words, if the governor wanted to do a bigger program, he would only be able to do it in those types of increments, which, again, I thought that was a good safeguard. And the other thing that was amended onto this is that although the Legislative Policy Committee could not ask to approve any of the spendings, they wanted to make sure that Legislative Policy Committee was involved. And it also says that we could request that the governor provide a briefing to the Legislative Policy Committee on the funds distributed under this piece of legislation. So again, another good checks and balances that we put for the legislature and the executive branch, and I appreciate the comments that were put in there.
Thank you, Senator. Any further discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote. If
Yes,
not-
Mr. President.
Yes, recognize the Senator
Just-
from District 6.
Yes, sir, real quick. I just want to thank you, Mr. President, for your leadership. I want to thank all the chairwoman and all those that participated in this, the House. And this is going to make a difference for our workers. It's going to make a difference for the families that lost lives. It's going to help their children. It's going to do a lot for all the people that affect every part of the state and the businesses at that. So, Mr. President, I want to thank you so much for working together through this, and we've only just begun. Thank you, Senate.
Thank you, Senator. Any further explanations of the vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 1188, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Let's go to concurrence calendar number 30 out of Finance. Clerk will read the bill.
Senate Bill 760, Senator Kramer, Consumer Protection Retail Sales of Gift Cards, Gift Card Scams Prevention Act of 2024.
Recognizing the chair of the committee, Chair of Finance on the House amendments.
I know we made a motion to concur. No, we should not. It's on my desk, I'm sure. Give me 1 second. Okay. No.
Kramer doesn't have on his desk. You do all the concurrences.
Yeah, I do all the concurrences. I thought I was all done. Well, Mr. President, I need to ask you to wait maybe 20
Well, let's see
minutes.
if, can we see if the sponsor can explain the House amendments? Yield to the sponsor of the Senate bill?
Well, I yield to the sponsor of the bill.
All right.
Thank you, Mr.
Very briefly,
President.
Senator, on the House amendments.
Thank you, Mr. President. As amended by the House, the Senate Finance Committee concurs. The amendments simply add an additional provision that will work just fine, so we concur.
All right, any objection to the House amendments? Any discussion? Without objection, the House amendments are adopted. Senate Bill 760 is again before us on third reading for final passage. Any further discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 760, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. We've got a few more concurrences here. Let's see what we got. This is number 37. Clerk will read the first bill.
Senate Bill 60, Senator Carrozza, Worcester County Motorhome and Recreational Trailer Shows, out-of-state dealers.
Recognizing Chair of the Committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. The House amendments apply to this bill and make it statewide instead of only Worcester County, and also require the Department of Commerce to study the impact of the bill. JPR concurs.
All right. Chair moves that we concur with the House amendments. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the Senate concurs with the House amendments. Senate Bill 60 is again before us on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 60, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 379, Central West Task Force to Study Crime Classification, renaming membership and duties.
Recognize the Chair of the Committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. The House amendments add the Maryland Crime Victims Resource Center to the task force. The committee moves to concur with the House amendments.
All right, the Chair moves that we concur with House amendments. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the Senate concurs with House amendments. Senate Bill 379 is again before us on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 379, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
Senate Bill 943, Senator Kelly, Vehicle Laws, Bus Obstruction Monitoring System, Better Bus Service Act of 2024.
Recognize the Chair of the Committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. The House amendments limit the systems to enforcing only the prohibition on driving in a dedicated bus lane. JPR concurs.
All right, the Chairman moves to concur with the House amendments. Any discussion?
Mr. President.
Oh, yes, recognizing the minority. Wait,
Just wanted to confirm, does this bill deal with, if the chair would yield, does this bill deal with school buses, or this is bus lanes like transit buses?
Transit buses, like the dedicated transit bus lanes.
Okay. And so this was, sorry, this was, okay, interesting. I was thinking it was school buses when we voted for this before. So this is allowing for every bus in the state of Maryland to have a camera on it.
So only in areas where they have those special dedicated bus lanes, it's used for enforcement in those dedicated lanes.
But only in those dedicated bus lanes.
That's correct. The bill, as introduced, was much more broad in its scope. It's limited very strictly to just the bus lanes.
Understood. Before that, we were perhaps looking for speeders and other things. So now we're just doing, no, it's fine. Just doing bus lanes. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
all right. The question remains on the House amendments. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the House amendments are adopted. Senate Bill 943 is again before us on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 943, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Let's just get these. Let's see what we can do here. This is a second reader, budget and tax report number 41. Clerk will read the bill.
House Bill 1439, Delegate Shetty, Emergency Services Funding.
Recognize the Chair of the Committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the trauma bill. It's the same posture as the Senate version.
All
Move
right.
forward.
Chair moves the favorable committee report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the favorable committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, House Bill 1439 is hereby ordered passed for third reading. Let's go to 56. 56, out of budget and tax. Clerk will read the bill. Excuse me, judicial proceedings.
House Bill 1063, Delegate Williams, Criminal Organizations, Underlying Crime, favorable.
Recognizing the senator from the 26th.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill expands the meaning of underlying crime for the purpose of establishing a pattern of organized criminal activity applicable to related criminal activities. There are no committee amendments, and so we move this bill forward. Ask for a favorable report on the bill.
All right, Senator moves for adoption of the favorable committee report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the favorable committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, House Bill 1063 is hereby ordered passed for third reading. All right, let's go to...
President,
Oh, yes.
on that bill, would you like to make a motion to have two readings and
I think we'll get to it. I think we'll get
Okay.
to it. We got
that's
two of
what
them
I-
on that calendar. We'll get to it. I think we have time.
We're
Not
good.
amended, so we
Okay,
have time.
great. Thank you.
All right, on third reading calendar 72, these are House bills. Clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 437, Delegate Wyville, Maryland Zero Emissions Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Council membership.
House Bill 437 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 437 have received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 531, Delegate Embry, Correctional Services, Parole Supervision Fees, and Drug and Alcohol Abuse Test Payment, repeal.
House Bill 531 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. 47 votes in the affirmative. House Bill 531 have received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
House Bill 545, Delegate Miraku North, Janet L. Hoffman, Loan Assistance Repayment Program, Nancy Grasmont, Public School Professional Award, Public School Nurses.
House Bill 545 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. 45 votes in the affirmative. House Bill 545 have received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 598, Delegate Boafo, Discrimination, Military Status, Prohibition.
House Bill 598 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. 47 votes in the affirmative. House Bill 598 have received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 690, Charles County Delegation, Charles County Adult Protective Services Review Board membership.
House Bill 690 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 690 having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Senators, can we please pull it together here? We got a lot of work left. House Bill 737 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. 47 votes in the affirmative. House Bill 737 have received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 773, Delegate D. Jones, Human Services, Individual Disabilities, and Service Disabled Veterans Voting Fund.
House Bill 773 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 773 have received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
House Bill 840, Delegate Hartman, Vehicle Laws, Annual Vehicle Shows, Motor and Trailer Homes.
House Bill 840 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 840 having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed. Senator from the 37th.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to change my vote on HB 531. I'm recorded as green. I'd like to be recorded in the red on HB 531.
531 to the red. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Senator from District 2.
Same thing, Mr. President. House Bill 531 from green to red, please.
531
Yeah.
green to red. We have the slip. Excellent. Thank you, sir. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Yes, Senator from the 35th.
Thank you, Mr. President. I turn a red card for HB 531 to go from green to red.
531, green to red. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. President.
Yes, from Carroll County?
HB 531, green to red.
531 from green to red. Do we have the slip? All right, remember, it doesn't count if the slip's not there, so make sure the slip's in. All right, yes, Senator, from the 29th?
531 from green to red. You'll get the slip in just a second.
531, green to red. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Senator from the 27th?
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 760, green.
760 in the green. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. All right, we have a message from the House, number 42. This is introduction of a bill. Clerk will read the bill.
Message from the House of Delegates number 42, House Bill 1526, Delegate Clippinger, Maryland Protecting Opportunities Regional Trade Port Act. Rules.
We want to maybe recognize the chair of the Rules Committee for the potential suspension of the rule.
Could we suspend the rules, Mr. President, and re-refer this bill to its appropriate committee?
Are there any objections? The Senator has moved to suspend the rules to the House.
Just again, the process is what now? The
The bill introduction is a direct cross-file. The request was to suspend the rules to send the bill directly to committee after cross.
So bypass the Rules Committee, come straight from the desk, bypass the Rules Committee, go straight to committee.
Straight to committee, correct.
Okay, that's fine. I just
Correct.
wanted to make sure I
Sure.
understood what it was.
Yep.
Thank you.
It's duly committed. 2 committees have to vote. So, all right. Any objection to the, okay. Without objection, the rules haven't been suspended. The clerk will refer the bill to the appropriate standing committees. Committees. All right. What do we have? I lost this. This. Okay. We've got a conference committee report. I'm sorry. This is House Bill 763. 763. Clerk will read the bill.
House Bill 763, Delegate Attar, Commission on Hate Crime Response and Prevention, Membership in Sunset.
All right. Let's recognize the Senator from the 44th.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. What we did in this conference committee is we reverted back to what the House passed so that there are 15 members that will be appointed by the Attorney General with the advice and consent of the Senate, and the rest of the positions will be set as it was in the House bill, as well as we struck the sunset, and I would just ask for the favorable conference committee report to be moved.
All right. The conference committee chair moves that we adopt the conference committee report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the Senate adopts the conference committee report. House Bill 763 is again before us on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote? Explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. 46 votes in the affirmative. House Bill 763 have received a constitutional majority. Is declared passed. We have a message from the House, number 13. These are Senate bills.
I kid you not, my bell just didn't work, but just let me know when I can tell you about that.
Okay, just one moment. Let's get this one up. If we can just, it's a yeas and days. Let's just read it across, Madam Clerk.
63
Oh, nope. Clerk, read the calendar.
Message to the House Delegates number 13, Senate bills passed by yeas and nays.
All right. Majority leader moves so we can consider the reading of the bills. Recognize the Senator from the 34th District.
Sorry, now I can't see the bill number. I believe my button literally did not work on Senate Bill 736. It was the last bill we voted on. I apologize, I can't see it now, but and I've got my slip.
Excellent. All right, we have the form, 760. Any objections? without objection. So ordered. Yes, recognizing Senator from District 7.
Senate Bill 531, green to red, papers at the desk.
Green to red. Any objections? So ordered. Recognize the Minority Leader.
Mr. President, Senate Bill 531, green to red.
It's 531, green to red. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Yes.
Mr. President, Senate Bill 728, green to red.
All right, 728. We got to make sure we have the forms here. This is one of the things.
It's up there. I just took it
All
up.
right, 728. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. All right, we have a message from the House, number 14. Clerk will read the message.
Senate Bill 417, Senator Hayes, Election Administration, State Administrator, Local Boards, and Elected Directors.
All right, bill passed by yeas and nays. Let's go to, we've got second reader out of judicial proceedings. Report number 57. Clerk will read the bill.
House Bill 332, Delegate Addison, Out-of-State Motor Vehicles and Proper Registration Report, favorable.
Recognize the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill requires the Motor Vehicle Administration, in consultation with Baltimore City and other interested jurisdictions, to prepare a report on motor vehicles owned by Maryland residents that are improperly registered in another state. There are no committee amendments. I'd move for the adoption of the favorable committee report.
All right, the chair moves for the adoption of the favorable committee report. Any discussion?
Is this the Virginia bill?
District 7?
Is this the Virginia license issue? Virginia tag?
Checking on the floor of the yield.
It's kind of, it is, but it's only a report. It's only a report now, so it's born out of that example, but it's yeah.
All right, questions on the favorable report? Any further discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the favorable committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, House Bill 332 is hereby ordered passed for third reading. Let's go to budget and tax. Report number 42. Clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 447, Delegate Ziegler, Income Tax Credit, Venison Donation, favorable.
447.
Mr. President?
Yes, thank you. Senator from the 30th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, House Bill 447 is amended, came over from the House amended in exact, same as the Senate bill that we just passed, simply caps the income, the tax credit for venison donation to $300. I move the adoption of the favorable committee report.
All right, the Senator moves to the adoption of the favorable committee report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the favorable committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, House Bill 447 is hereby ordered passed for third reading. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 515, Delegate Long, Work Group to study the fiscal operational viability of public-private partnerships for Calvert County Public Schools, favorable.
All right. Senator from the 27th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, House Bill 515 is identical to Senate Bill 114 that passed unanimously here in the Senate. It also passed unanimously in the House. It allows the Calvert County school system to engage, if they wish, in a public-private partnership for their schools with a reporting period each year. And there were no committee amendments. Move adoption of the committee report.
All right, Senator moves to the adoption of the favorable committee report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the favorable committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, House Bill 515 is hereby ordered passed for third reading. We've got another one out of Education, Energy, and the Environment, Report 75. Clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 371, Delegate Grossman, Election Law, Recounts, Procedures, favorable.
Mr. President?
All right, recognizing the Vice Chair of the Committee.
This is nearly identical to the bill on recounts, the emergency bill that this body passed unanimously. The House version did some technical tweaks. Move the adoption of the favorable committee report.
Floor leader moves to the adoption of the favorable committee report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the favorable committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, House Bill 371 is hereby ordered passed for third reading. Clerk, read the next bill.
Mr. President?
Yes, we're getting them rushed. Next bill.
House Bill 449, Delegate Ivy, Comprehensive Flood Management Grant Program Funding for Underserved and Overburdened Communities, favorable.
All right, House Bill 449 is on third reading for, no it's not. We need a floor leader, please. On 449. We had the exact cross file. Senator from District 9. Okay. Senator from District 9. Recognize the Vice Chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a cross-file of a bill this body has already passed. Move for the favorable adoption of the House version.
Floor leader moves to the adoption of the favorable committee report. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the favorable committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, House Bill 449 is hereby ordered passed for third reading. All right. Concurrence calendar number 38. Clerk will read the first bill.
Senate Bill 135, Senator Ellis, Work Group to Study Funding for Westernport Wastewater Treatment Facility Establishment.
Recognize the chair.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. The bill establishes a work group to study funding for the Westernport Wastewater Treatment Facility. House amendments remove the legislative members of the work group, but we move to concur with the House amendments.
All right, Chair moves to concur with the House amendments. Any discussion and any objections? Without objection, the Senate concurs with House amendments. Senate Bill 135 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President?
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote. If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 135 have received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 597, Senator Gazona, Human Services, Individual Disability Service to Disabled Veterans.
Recognize the chair of the
Thank you,
committee.
Mr. President. The bill establishes individuals with disability service disabled veterans voting fund in the Department of Disabilities for purpose of issuing grants to individuals with disabilities and service disabled veterans for water-related sports. House amendments remove the discretionary appropriation. Triple E moves to concur with the House amendments.
All right, Chair moves to concur with House amendments. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the Senate concurs with House amendments. Senate Bill 597 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President?
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. 47 votes in the affirmative. Senate Bill 597 have received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
Senate Bill 808, Senator Carrozza, Anaerobic Digestive Technology Coordination Guidance.
Yeah, Mr. President, the bill requires the Department of Agriculture to coordinate with various stakeholders to ensure that anaerobic digestion technology projects are not unduly delayed. The House amendments change the requirement to ensuring these projects be appropriately coordinated. The Triple E Committee concurs with the House amendments.
All right. Chair moves to the adoption of the House amendments. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the Senate concurs with the House amendments. Senate Bill 808 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President?
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 808 having received the constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
Senate Bill 915, Senator Brooks, Agriculture, Invasive Plant Species.
Recognize the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. The bill alters the regulatory approach for controlling invasive plant species in the state. The House amendments make a technical change. The Triple E Committee moves to concur with the House amendments.
All right. Chair moves to concur with House amendments. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the Senate concurs with House amendments. Senate Bill 915 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President?
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 915 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
Senate Bill 982, Senator Hester, Information Technology.
Recognize the chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill modifies funding project approval and procurement for information technology modernization projects within DO-IT. The House amendments modify oversight and funding provisions related to legacy system inventories. Finally, amendments require a report to address items discovered in the Department of Information Technology audit. Mr. President, the Triple E Committee moves to concur with the House amendments.
All right, Chair moves for the House amendments. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the Senate concurs with House amendments. Senate Bill 982 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President?
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 982 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
Senate Bill 878, Senator Klossmeyer, Gaming Problem Gambling.
Recognize the chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. Special order, there's till midnight.
All right, chair moves to special order the bill until midnight. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Clerk will read the next bill.
Senate Bill 561, Frederick County Senators, Frederick County Alcoholic Beverages Manufacturer Limited Beer, Wine, and Liquor Permit.
561. Recognize the chair of finance on the House amendments.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Bill 561 authorizes in Frederick County the issuance of a manufacturer's limited beer, wine, and liquor permit to a holder of a distillery license or brewery license. The House amendments conform the Senate bill to the House cross-file as passed by the Senate. We move to concur.
Chair moves to concur with the House amendments. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objections, the Senate concurs with the House amendments. 561 on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 47 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 561 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
Senate Bill 655, Anne Arundel County Senators, Anne Arundel County alcoholic beverages.
Let's check in with the chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask that the Budget and Tax Committee meet in the hallway.
All right.
Immediately.
Immediately, Budget and Tax will please meet in the hallway. Recognize the Chair of Finance.
Mr. President, I'm going to ask that the Finance Committee meet, but I also have a concurrence coming up in the next bill. So after 9:52, or are you going to take a little pause?
As
or?
we are waiting for the Budget and Tax Committee to,
All right.
let's do this. We'll let them go. Let's
All right.
let them go.
Where
And-
can I take the Finance Committee?
Well, we're going to hold here. We're going to stay on the floor for a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do some messages. If we could please special order this calendar for 5 minutes. Without objection, so ordered. All right, we have an announcement. Clerk will read the announcement.
The following announcement are on your desks. It is leadership. The president makes the following leadership announcements. Majority Leader Nancy J. King, Deputy Majority Leader Senator Arthur Ellis, Majority Whip Senator Joanne C. Benson, Deputy Majority Whip Senator Katie Fry Hester, Deputy Majority Whip Senator Benjamin F. Kramer, Deputy Majority Whip Senator Corey V. McCray, Deputy Majority Whip Senator Charles E. Sidnor III, Democratic Caucus Chair Senator Craig J. Zucker, and Democratic Caucus Vice Chair Senator Michael A. Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Let's just get these two other announcements out really quickly. Can we start with the leadership announcement? Senators, on your desks, there are two additional announcements. This is announcement of committees for the interim, as well as announcement of the Senate Minority Caucus of the leadership. Without any objections, the Majority Leader waives the reading of the actual announcements. And all right, let's see if we can do a quick quorum call.
Mr. President.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their presence? If so, the clerk will take the call.
Mr. President.
42 members in the chamber of quorum being present. Yes, recognizing the Minority Whip.
My button did not work on Senate Bill 982, and I wish to be recorded in the green.
982 in the green. Any objections? Without objection, so ordered. Senator from District 4.
Mr. President, on House Bill 531, Senate Bill 728, they're the same, but I'd like to be recorded in the red,
Is it a switch?
please.
Does Senator, have we received?
Yes.
Those? Okay. We have those members. Without any objections? Without objection, so ordered. All right. Let's check with the Majority Leader, now that we have 42 members and we are still in session. Recognize the Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to move that we adjourn to a new day.
All right, without objection, the Majority Leader moves that we adjourn to a new day. So ordered. The Senate will be called right back into order. Welcome. Quorum call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their presence? You will waive the reading of the invocation from the prior, or we will replace it from the prior legislative day. Everyone's recorded their presence. Clerk will take the call. With 47 members in the chamber, the quorum being present, the Senate of Maryland is now again in session. Let's go with calendar number 77. Clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 1063, Delegate Williams, Criminal Organizations, Underlying Crime.
House Bill 1063, third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 44 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 1063 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
House Bill 1439, Delegate Shetty, Emergency Services Funding on third reader.
House Bill 1439 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 43 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 1439 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. All right, Senator, please, let's get a little louder here, please. All right, we're on calendar 78. 78, clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 332, Delegate Addison, Out-of-State Motor Vehicles, Improper Registration Report.
House Bill 332 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 6 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 332 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
House Bill 371, Delegate Grossman, Election Law Recounts Procedures.
House
This
Bill
is an emergency
371 is on third reading, final passage. This is an emergency bill, Senators. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 371 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill 447, Delegate Ziegler, Income Tax Credit, Venison Donation.
House Bill 447 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 447, having received a constitutional majority, is declared passed, and my grandmother will be very happy about Christmas morning. Clerk will read the next bill.
House Bill
Okay.
449, Delegate Ivy, Comprehensive Flood Management Grant Program Funding for Underserved and Overburdened Communities.
House Bill 449 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 449 have received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
House Bill 515, Delegate Long, Work Group to Study the Fiscal Operational Viability of Public-Private Partnership for Calvert County Public Schools.
House Bill 515 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 515 have received a constitutional majority is declared passed. All right, let's go to 75, third reading House bills. Clerk will read the first bill.
House Bill 243, Chair Ways and Means Property Tax Sales Revisions.
House Bill 243 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 41 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 243 having received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
House Bill 289, Delegate Kerr, State Contract Prohibited Provisions.
House Bill 289 is on third reading for final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 46 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 289 have received a constitutional majority is declared passed. Clerk, read the next bill.
House Bill 689, Delegate Fraser Hidalgo, Electric Vehicles, Repeal of Excise Tax Credit Establishment of Rebate Program.
House Bill 689 is on third reading for final passage. Yes, recognize the minority leader.
Mr. President, have an amendment.
Page will collect and very quickly distribute the amendment. It's like the dirty football player that, like, doesn't pick up the ball. What happened in the national championship game? Didn't we figure that out?
Lucy, right, where she keeps pulling the football from
UConn
Charlie
won?
Brown that we deal with for 89
That means
days.
Joy Walker is the winner of the Senate pool. Joy Walker. All right, well, it's a little side business here going on. Senator may explain the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just very quickly to go back on what this bill does. Currently, right now, when we talk about electric vehicles, there is a tax credit that's provided for every individual that buys a electric vehicle for under $50,000. This bill is now going to change it to a rebate program, which I think we all agree is a better idea that will allow the rebate to occur at the point of sale. So you do not have to get it through a tax credit. But what we have found out, Mr. President, is that the money that we've set aside for this program, $8.5 million that comes from the C fund that goes to transportation, runs out in about 5 or 6 months. And this bill simply, it's cutting the amount. So it will say, instead of providing a $3,000 rebate, it only provides a $1,500 rebate. And that's not a bad thing, because what this bill will do, it will actually bring more buyers into the ability to get the rebate. And the reason is because when it's a tax credit, you have to have a tax liability in order to see the benefit of our policy that we created. So if we're going to make it easier for individuals or for buyers to be able to get the rebate now, I thought that, again, through this amendment, it would be better to say more people can be involved. So instead of this money running out in 5 or 6 months, it will last a lot longer. And at the same time, it is enough of an incentive. And if you're ready to say this is a friendly amendment, then I'll stop talking. But if that's not exactly what you were going to say yet, if you weren't going to say friendly amendment, I'm just going to finish, because I think it is, Mr. President, I think it is very important. You know, this is a great program that we've all gotten behind with the Clean Cars Act for a number of different years that has been passed through different administrations. But right now, this bill, as it's changed, is going to allow more people to be able to get this rebate. So I figured at the same time, we would like to see this money last a little bit longer. And the way that the money lasts longer is by cutting the rebates in half. And if the difference of getting $1,500 as opposed to $3,000 is not going to make a big difference in whether or not you purchase the vehicle. So, Mr. President, I think the floor leader wants to say that this is a great idea, and that she thinks that we should involve more people in the process when we're going to a point of sales rebate program. And I am eagerly awaiting her announcement that this would be a friendly amendment. And
Mr. President,
I hope that that's what she's getting ready to say
Mr. President,
in the final 6 or 7 minutes of the 2024 legislative session.
Yes, before the floor leader answers, could we see if the Finance Committee could leave the floor?
I think some of them
I only mean
can.
that sort of-
I think a good amount of them might be able to.
If the Finance Committee could meet in the hallway very quickly.
Okay.
Okay, we're supposed to go to the Silver Room. Our staff's waiting in the
Great,
Silver Room.
Silver Room, to the Finance Committee, the Silver Room.
Mr.
Very quickly.
Mr. President, while they're exiting, I urge
very
the
quickly.
Mr. President, do I still have the floor then? Do I have to go
Senator
out
Still has
and
the-
come back
Senator-
in?
Senator still has the floor. All right, let's keep it together. We're almost there.
okay.
Almost there.
I will allow or ask the opinion of the floor leader on my very good amendment that will bring more people into the process and allow them to benefit off the rebate program that we are now creating.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee urges the body to swiftly reject the amendment.
Swiftly reject that. It's not
All right,
not exactly what I was hoping, Mr. President. I think that this is a fantastic idea.
Understood.
I
All right,
understand.
okay, on the amendment, all in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Roll call, please.
Okay, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President,
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? Yes, Senator from
What's that?
District 4 has 2 minutes to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. In an effort to explain my vote, I think that it's reasonable that we would accept this amendment as a friendly amendment, because it's a very important friendly amendment. And if you can't see that, this would allow this program to be handed out and divvied out to many more people to benefit from this wonderful program and this wonderful, wonderful amendment.
All right, Senator.
Honestly, Mr. President, this amendment couldn't be friendlier. So I wish that the body would really look deep inside and understand. This will bring more EVs on the roads, which means less gas, less carbon emissions. This is everything we talk about that we want.
All right, Senator, that does it.
And
Time's expired. Senator's time has expired.
That's my 2 minutes?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was a fast
All right,
turn.
clerk will take the call. With 26 votes in negative, the senator's amendment fails. HB 689 is on third reading, final passage. Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote?
I'd like to explain my vote.
Senator has 2 minutes to explain his vote.
I don't think that you want me to completely explain my vote, so I'll be voting red on this,
All right,
Mr.
Thank
President.
you, Senator. All right, clerk will take the call. With 33 votes in the affirmative, House Bill 689 have received a constitutional majority is declared passed. We're going to, Majority Leader moves to special order the rest of those bills on that calendar. We're going to go to Senate Bill 952. 952 is a concurrence.
Thank you, Mr. President. House Bill 952, the House amendments alter provisions regarding description of services and financial agreements. Move to concur.
House Bill, question is Senate Bill 952. Chair moves to concur. Any discussion? Any objections? Without objection, the Senate concurs with the House amendments. Senate Bill 952 is on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. With 45 votes in the affirmative, Senate Bill 952 have received a constitutional majority is declared passed. We have yeas and nays, calendar 15. Clerk will read the yeas and nays.
Yeas and nays, calendar number 15.
All right, we've got a Senate Bill 655. Clerk will read the bill. Solar eclipse reverses time, correct? Is that?
Senate Bill 1002.
Can we give a huge thank you to all of the incredible DLS staff? A huge, huge thank you. We also, an enormous thank you this year in particular to our Department of General Services and the incredible work they did in our facility to make it all work. We had an incredible ITO team that did our rave alerts. We've got Jean Bryce, Heather Kohler, Karen Cassidy, and Ralph Mattos. Thank you to the ITO team. To our wonderful, wonderful recyclers, John Spencer and Osler Allen. Thank you. To our DLS finance team, Jim Goff, Mary Rotten. Human Resources, Sasha Vasquez and staff. They're such an amazing, amazing team. I'm not sure where they are right now, but thank you to our amendment, oh my gosh, our amendment team and bill drafting offices, Effie and Kelly, Michelle Purcell. I'm not going to be able to get to everybody in time. Please know how much you are so incredibly thanked. To our wonderful, wonderful Sergeant at Arms, to their incredible work. To the hardest working teams on committees, we've got our assistants to the chairs, Kim Landry, Sandy Pop, Lemoria Stan, and Tammy Kraft. To committee council, we have Erica Phillip Deneen on B&T, Jamie Josh Shamari on JPR. And we're going to take a quick moment. Clerk will read the bill.
House Bill 1526, Delegate Clippinger, Maryland Protecting Opportunity Poor Act.
Recognizing the Chair of Finance on the bill. Correct cross file of the Senate bill.
We move to concur.
Moves to adopt the favorable committee report. Any discussion? Any objection? Without objection, the favorable committee report is adopted. Are there any amendments to the bill or its title? Seeing none, House Bill 1526 is hereby ordered passed for third reader. Recognize the Majority Leader.
I move that we do two bills in one day.
So Senator moves to suspend the rules for two bill readings in one day. Any objections? Without objection, the bills having been suspended. House Bill 1526 on third reading, final passage. Any discussion? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
Has everyone recorded their vote? Anyone wish to change their vote, explain their vote? If not, the clerk will take the call. Can I just very quickly, to the unbelievable, I am so blessed to have such, like, the greatest people in politics business. Sally, Jody, David, Ross, Joy, Robin, Casey, Katie, Tyler, Ashley, our committee spy analyst, Beth Call, Zaina Lundi, Maria Costello, Omar Diallo, and then, of course, the one and only, the incredible, absolutely unbelievable Secretary of the Senate's office. We have Nicole, Ronnie, Andrea, Caitlin, Nick, Dottie, Lori, Rochelle, Sean, and an extra special thank you to Dottie, who's retiring after 19 years of service. Without further ado, recognize the Majority Leader.
Mr. President, I move the Senate of Maryland stand adjourned, sine die.
Without objection, so ordered. But welcome to the Governor, Lieutenant Governor, and First Lady, First Gentleman. Welcome to see you all. Thank you, thank you. Success.
There's still more. I know. There's still a lot more. You're getting killed with all of it.
I know.